So Rian Johnson is on a bit of a hot streak. After the complete disaster that was The Last Jedi, which I don't really blame him for. Star Wars is just cursed. He made one of the most fun movies of the last decade with Knives Out, and just in December of last year, he made a sequel to said movie with Glass Onion, which was also very good. Those movies were a great twist on a typical murder mystery with some fantastic writing, excellent characters, and some very, very good directing. So when I heard that barely over a month after Glass Onion just dropped, there will be a TV show where Johnson will be doing showrunning that will be a mystery of the week with Natasha Lyonne as the main character. Let's just say I was very excited. And this show, no surprises, delivered again. So as I said, it's a mystery of the week type of show where in every episode our main character has to solve a different mystery every episode, but it's not just a typical murder mystery TV show. Rian Johnson apparently doesn't like typical. There are twists, many of them. We always know who the killer is as soon as the murder happens. And I think it's a very interesting idea. The mystery isn't there to be solved by us, it's there to be solved by the main character. At first it probably may sound boring, counterproductive, because why have a mystery if it's not really a mystery? It's solved immediately basically. And if I knew before I watched that the show is built like that, I would probably asking the same questions. But because I realized it while I was watching, I was already hooked in this show, big time. All you need to do is look on the first episode to basically find the answer why. The episodes mostly have the same structure, lead up to the murder, finding out how our main character was involved, solving the mystery. Not much of a rocket science here. Sounds simple, but these episodes are so well written and have enough twists to keep you hooked and not bore you for 10 episodes, which is kinda impressive. The lead-ups are mostly supposed to show you all these episodes' characters involved in the murder, and in this comparatively short time, Rian Johnson is able to write and build multi-dimensional characters that make you care about every single episode. The directing is so good throughout this show, but mainly in these segments, because you always feel extreme tension for every second, because until the murder happens, you don't really know who is going to kill who. And they are directed with so much style and creativity that just those build-ups are immense joy to watch. And instead of looking for clues, who is the killer, you look for clues, how is the main character going to solve this? Which is a very interesting twist that still encourages you to look for every single detail, because knowing who did the deed isn't enough. The main character still has to catch them. And while we're on the topic, let's talk about our main character, Charlie. Charlie isn't really our typical detective solving murder mysteries. To be specific, she isn't a detective or anybody working at the police at all. She's just a random person close to every single case. Well, actually not so random, because Charlie has a very special, interesting ability. She always knows when someone is lying. And this is another very interesting twist, because you don't have a highly trained detective slash police trying to find clues to find out the identity of the killer. You have completely untrained, not really knowing how to solve a murder person, just knowing if you are lying to her. Which in this show itself works extremely well, because this show isn't about finding out who the murderer is, it's about finding the evidence and putting them away. And Charlie basically being the only character that appears in every single episode had a very difficult task of making us care about her enough so we would root for her, that she finds the evidence and puts the bodies away, but also fun enough watching her for 10 hours trying to solve those mysteries wouldn't bore us to death. And you know what? Easy W. Charlie is awesome. She's funny, witty, easily likable, and just super entertaining to watch. And obviously a lot of credit has to be given to Natasha Lyonne, who in my opinion gives performance of her life. She's entertaining beyond words, but also when you need to sell the stress, the fear, and the sadness of every single situation. She does that perfectly. Big kudos to her. The episodic characters are also fantastic top to bottom. Rian Johnson decided to give us a cast full of superstars in this show, giving us well-known fantastic actors in every single episode. I won't spoil anybody who appears, because the less you know, the more fun it is to find out. I basically knew one person, and seeing for the first time every single actor who appears in here, my god was it fun. But I will just say, episode 9, what a cast. Definitely the best one in the entire show. Also the best episode overall. The setting is another thing that sets the show really apart, and is also a very interesting part of the show. Throughout the show, Charlie travels to in the United States of America, giving us a full palette of different places and views, including casinos around Vegas, mountains, random middle of nowhere racetracks even. It all gives this show a fun small town trip around America feel, and with the great directing in camera work showing us those places, feel like Charlie just arrived in a completely different ecosystem. And I'm telling you, this is so much fun. It felt like I was going on a trip through entire America, only the small towns though, and just seeing everything. It was so much joy. But I have to be frank, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. I have a few small, but still I have a few complaints. There are better episodes, there are worse episodes, obviously, but my biggest problem is with the last episode, where they are trying a lot of different stuff, try to put a lot of things at the same time, and none of them really work because they aren't given enough screen time for us to really care about them. Also, few episodes are a tad bit too long, but not that important. But overall, this show is definitely a great one. Interesting, funny, creative, engaging, and just simply fun to watch. Like, if you are overthinking it, it's very good. If you are not overthinking it, it's a lot of fun. So overall, I would give it a solid 9. If they want to give us more, I would be definitely up for it. But hey, if you want to discuss the show, maybe you disagree with me, or you just want to share your opinion on the show, hop into the comments.